Hey gang, Coach Burger here today, and today I want to show you some different footworks for some different types of jabs. So we're gonna do a pro jab, we're gonna do a kung fu jab, we're gonna do a drop step, we're gonna do drop step to a progressive chin jab, we're gonna drop step pivot into the kung fu jab, and then we're gonna take this big crossover here to outflank the guy. Okay. So when I first started boxing, one thing that was beat into our head for probably the first year is, you have these commandments. You can't break them, And one of them is you can't cross your feet. Never cross your feet. Never cross your feet. And then probably the first intermediate thing, like you had this basic footwork you learned, probably the first new piece you learned out of that was crossing your feet, right? And not just crossing your feet, but crossing your feet while you're right there in front of the guy, okay? And I hate it. I hate it for two reasons. I hate it because it goes against everything we were taught, and I hate it because it works so freaking good, okay? But I'm going to show you how to make it work even better. I'm going to show you how to sneak it in, okay? So first of all, let's talk about the details about that probe jab. So that probe jab is, just as the name sounds, you're out here with your guy and you're trying to find what's your range, right? If I can do this, I'm not in range, okay? I'm not coming into range. I'm already too close. So what's that range where you can hit him and run away? Okay? And that's the probe jab. And when I do this, watch my foot. I'll show with my hand too. My toes come into the ground. That stops my lower body. My upper body might keep going, right? Like when you have, you're driving in a car, you have something in the back seat, you slam on the brakes. You're driving in a car, slam on the brakes, something's in the back seat. With that, once that toe hits the ground, you rock it back to your heel. So my lower body's already moving backwards, even if my upper body's moving forward. So I get a quick retreat off that, okay? The kung fu jab is here, and I'm just calling it the kung fu jab. Karate does it, everybody does it. And what it is I want you to watch the line here. If you watch any of my videos, I talk about meat geometry. The thinner the profile, the longer the weapon. So when I did my probe jab, my shoulder's really not on the line, okay? So I'll do that probe jab a couple times. He's like, oh, okay, that's this guy's range. Not. So now I step out about just as far, but see how I'm here? I can go smash, right? And now it gives me a longer jab. So I catch him off guard with that, but I can run away off this really quick. I can still use it like a probe, okay? So I have my probe jab, I have my kung fu jab, I have my drop step jab. Man, you can get a lot of juice on that drop step, okay? Something else I want to teach you today, a lot of people ask, why is your toes up? And I usually just say, because it's awesome, like come learn. But I'm going to show you some of the reasons why I do it today. One is, think about how most people double up on their jab, right? They kind of go step, step. You can do that, that's not wrong. There's a lot of ways you can do it. This is another cool way to do it, and it kind of hides it. That I do the drop step, I just came forward. Can I come forward again without stepping? I can, right? So I can go drop step, progressive traction into the next one. I can go drop step, and because I'm on my heel, I can pivot into the kung fu punch, right? You'll see me do that a lot when I go high-low. Now for this, taking the angle thing, right? They want you to step over here. I'm turning my back on the guy. I'm right there in front of him. But I want you to think about something. On the way to there, did my shoulder pass this line? It did. So I'm not just going to step there for free. I'm going to give him something to think about, that when my shoulder hits that line, I'm going to take my step to there, but when my shoulder hits that line, I'm going to throw that punch. Now, I'm up on my heel again. Why? If I step to here, I stop myself. You stopped yourself. And then it rocked back, and I want to go forward. You kind of broke your momentum. If I'm on my heel, I have progressive traction to step through. Now I'm on this heel, okay? I can stay close to him and pivot on my heels, Or if I want a little more distance, I want to run away or kick or whatever, I use progressive traction and spin on the balls of my feet, and it's going to give me a little more distance, okay? So now, I'm not just stepping here. I'll throw this as a jab, or I'll just check his lead arm, right? I'll just check his jab, and now I can push off of him, okay? Being a four-legged boxer, you've seen that in some of my other videos, okay? So now you have pro jab, kung fu jab, drop step jab, drop step progressive traction to the jab, drop step pivot to the kung fu punch, and take that drop step and put it way over across that angle, right, way across, so you can take that angle on your opponent. All right, guys, that's just the jab. I'm going to be doing some Zoom lessons next month, starting in November, and one of the things you guys can pick topics. One thing I would highly recommend, making your jab freaking awesome. I will spar people sometimes, and okay, let's box, I'll just use my jab, okay? If you have a really educated jab, you can really keep somebody at bay with just the jab. So, not all your tools are created equal. That jab, even in boxing, that's, what, 75, 90% of what they throw. So why not invest in it and make it really good? And that works ring or street, because we don't have to stay with the punch. We can make it an eye poke, a throw shot, whatever you want to do. But anyway, guys, that's some different footworks to help you with the jab. Please give me some feedback. All right, guys, enjoy.